Okay, review of the National Gallery. Piff.
Waiting to dry.
All right. Mini-sode, it's a mini-sode. Everybody knows it's a mini-sode.
It's a mini-sode.
Hey guys, it is Sergio Lopez and Vanessa Walsh back with you again on a mini episode of Waiting to Dry. I don't know why I'm being so awkward right now. It's always something with that.
Natural state of being.
So yeah, instead of doing our typical mini-sode format, we are going to try to do this little game we, I guess, kind of invented. We're really just kind of ripping off that podcast.
Yeah, there's a podcast called Beach Too Sandy, Water Too Wet, and all they do is read bad Yelp reviews, and it's pretty hilarious a lot of the time. So we came up with this idea to read bad reviews of museums.
Yeah. So yeah, and then to go along with that, we came up with a drinking game to make it a little more interesting for people.
Yeah, so here are the criteria for a bad review drinking game. So we take a drink anytime someone complains about the price of a museum, anytime someone mentions the bathroom of a museum.
Happens a lot more than you think, guys.
Yeah. Anytime someone complains because they don't like the entire subject of the museum.
Yeah.
Like, you went to, I don't know, what's a good example? You went to like an Egypt exhibit and you hate Egypt, like something like that, you know. Anytime someone mentions kids, anytime someone has arbitrary expectations, like they're mad because there's not something in the museum that there's no reason for them to like believe it's there. Or there's, weak reasons for them to believe it's there.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, those are our rules.
So when we need to take a drink, we'll go with that.
All right, sounds good. All right. You ready to get started?
I believe so.
We're just getting right into it here.
First one I got is Museum of Bad Art.
Okay. You want to read it or me?
I'll do this one first.
Okay.
The Museum of Bad Art. Oh, this is a 1-star review off of Yelp, I believe. And the Museum of Bad Art, a.k.a. the Museum of Bad Smells. We heard that this was an attraction to see in Boston and decided to check it out. We came to find out it's the basement of an old movie theater. We're staying at a hotel in Back Bay, so it was a $25 Uber ride there and back. Does that count as a price?
I was just thinking about that. That's not the price of the museum, so I guess it doesn't. I mean, you can still take a drink if you want.
But yeah, you guys missed out that time. The ticket taker didn't want to let us in and said we had to buy movie tickets to get to the basement to see the museum. Luckily, my daughter had called ahead to find out what time it closes, and they'd emailed her 2 complimentary tickets. Down to the basement we went. The first thing that hit me as we were going down the stairs was an intense, disgusting smell of sewage. Turns out the museum is right next to the cinema's restrooms in the basement. That is in an...
Bathroom.
Oh, right. Damn, I'm not good at these games.
You have to actually take a drink.
Yeah, too many things in my hands.
I know, soundboard, review, drink, but this is what we're doing here. Yeah. Okay, continue. Sorry.
That's in an area that had not had fresh circulation through it since the building was probably built many, many, many years ago. The museum is a tattered old room with broken carpets and dirty walls and about 10 pieces of kids' art. They weren't that bad. Not worth the $50 Uber fees or our time. I don't know. I think that should count.
Okay. Another drink then.
If you decide to go, wear a mask so you don't inhale the smell.
Oh, wow. That's irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's reviews from 2017. But no, we all have to wear a mask. Well,
so the bad art wasn't that bad. And
you want the art to be worse.
Yeah.
Actually, looking at the pictures, it's not like, I expect it to be like hilariously bad, like The Room type bad, but it's not. I mean, it's just kind of like crappy, I guess. It's yeah.
Right. It's like you should kind of have lowered expectations of a place like this anyway. So right.
Well, it's kind of subjective though, because it's like the Museum of Bad Art would like the worst art be like, stick figures that a child drew, because that's probably worse than some of the stuff they're actually showing here. But yeah, it's all kind of subjective. I don't know.
Yeah, it really is, right? Just like good art at a museum in the same way. But yeah, everyone has different ideas of what bad art looks like, I think.
But I feel like, yeah, for a museum of bad art to be interesting, there'd have to be something about it that makes the art bad, something that kind of is interesting. I don't know. I feel
that's true.
It's kind of hard to define.
Yeah, I think that if you're gonna go to a museum of bad art, the art has to be really bad.
Yeah, laughably bad.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's kind of funny they leave, bad reviews because of how much they decided to spend on Uber. It's right. It's not the museum's fault. But then again, this museum does kind of sound like it sucks. So,
it really does, yeah.
Yeah, and not because of the bad art either.
It's not, it just seems like a bad place to show anything, let alone bad art. But I don't know. I guess if you go into bad art museum, you should have.
Wow, that was made for this. Okay, I guess it's my turn. Well, there's two on this page. I'll just read the first one, I guess.
Okay.
This is also the Museum of Bad Art. I guess people don't love this place. Calling this the Museum of Bad Art is like calling the movie posters you find in other theaters a museum of Hollywood memorabilia. It is not a museum. It's a few pieces of bad art with snarky captions in the basement of a movie theater. Admission is only by buying a movie ticket, so you couldn't make a special trip to see this if you wanted to. Total con job.
Wow.
That's kind of funny. So this is just you get in for free if you buy a ticket to a movie, I guess?
Yeah.
So it's just some weird room someone put a bunch of bad art in, I guess?
Basically.
In
it does sound like a horrible place to go.
Well, yeah, I do agree with the lowered expectations thing, but you'd think just the setting. This is weird. It's still someone just put a bunch of shitty art in their business and called it a museum, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
It's very interesting. Yeah. A con job, though, I mean, like you said before.
Right. You should have...
Well, I guess if you visit the Museum of Bad Art, just given the setting, too, you should have. Lowered expectation. There we go.
So this is basically a basement that they had no use for, so they decided to put some junk on the wall and call it a museum. For some reason, the idea of it comes off as avant-garde, but it seems to me like the bad art was truly just created by people who are not artistically talented. Is that in itself a statement? If so, I could open a museum full of random things I've made. At least it's free admission, so there's that. So this person says it's free admission, so maybe he was conned, the other guy.
I don't know. Maybe they mean free admission because they happened to go to the movies. I don't know. It's interesting thinking, yeah, it comes off as avant-garde. I was kind of waiting for someone to say some shit like that. That's just getting all weird and heady about it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. They should not.
Okay, next one.
No, nothing to drink from that one, huh?
Guess not. I mean, yeah, I feel for bad art, the not liking the subject of the museum doesn't really count. Okay, now this one. Okay, this is ridiculous because we've both. Well, I don't know if you've been here. I've been here.
Are we doing California Academy of Sciences?
Yes.
Yes, I have been.
Okay. 1-star review.
Oh, you should read all the misspellings the same way.
Okay, I'll try. Okay, tourist trap.
Yeah.
California Academy of Sciences. A very sad little place. I would just call it a trap for tourists visiting to San Francisco. The planetarium was just okay. The rainforest was a joke. And the earthquake simulation was not good enough. Yeah. The aquarium was the only nice part, but then paying $35. Take a drink. Ding. Okay. $35 for that is just a waste of money. Monterey has a much better aquarium.
No, they didn't spell aquarium.
Oh God, what is it? How do I even pronounce that?
Aquarium?
Aquarium. Yeah. San Francisco has so much to offer. I would easily skip this place and the rest of SF. And
San Francisco has so much to offer, but skip it all.
I know, right? Yeah, skip this place and the rest of it. Damn, this person just hates it.
This place ruined all of San Francisco for him.
Right. Well, that's funny because obviously the Academy of Sciences is like a world-class, amazing museum. So it's pretty funny that they would complain about that. I mean, given the Monterey Bay Aquarium is a better aquarium, sure, but
Right.
the rainforest is awesome. You didn't come with, but yeah, a bunch of our art group went here for nightlife, which is when they're open late and you get cocktails and stuff. And we went into the rainforest and like butterflies were landing on us and it was really cool. So yeah, this person, they don't know what's up.
Yeah, I remember going to the rainforest before, but yeah, I like that. It's like the earthquake simulation was not good enough. It's like I didn't get hurt, so I don't know if I was a really...
What do they mean not good enough? Like, have they been to another earthquake simulation where like it was better, or like do they want it to be more like a real earthquake?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I really wanted to go to that.
On the floor and things didn't fall on me, so not worth $35.
Right. Yeah, I really wanted to go to that, but I didn't get to. But I guess it wasn't good enough, so it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is your turn.
All right, so now we're doing the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, which is in Boston, I believe. 2 stars. OMG. What is everyone so excited about? I've always felt that I needed to go to this museum, especially now that it's possible that they may have uncovered one of the stolen paintings. However, despite the thought that all the employees seem to love their jobs and are outgoing and helpful, I found the museum to be dark, hot, congested, oppressive, more like the inside of a tacky secondhand store than a serious museum.
Serious museum.
Yeah. Particularly on the first floor, every available slice of wall space was covered in no understandable order with a collection of crap ripped off by this rich woman as she scoured the world. Wow. She's a real pirate, this one. Granted, there are some very special pieces there, but the ability to actually see and contemplate is limited.
I don't know why that makes me laugh, the word contemplate. Like, you just want to go there and, like, stand in front of it with, like, your hand on your chin.
Yeah,
like,
looking like the thinking guy emoji the entire time. Yeah.
Or like in Ferris Bueller when they're all just, like, standing there in front of the painting, like, contemplating it.
Right.
I can't contemplate enough here, damn it. Anyway, sorry.
There is precious little in the way of explanation of what one is looking at. The only signage seems to consist of "don't touch this," "don't sit here," "don't place anything here," and "people brought young children here."
Oh, take a drink.
What a horrible thing to do to a kid. Is that an extra one? I don't know.
Oh, gosh. Well, we're going to have a few drinks in this review if that's what's going on here.
I don't regret having gone, and I suppose people should go, simply because it is so revered, but temper your expectations for quality. Maybe expectations should have been a...
Okay.
For quality, visibility, explanation, and for God's sake, don't impose this dreary place on a kid.
Darn it. Okay.
So, I don't know if you're...
I'm not familiar. I was just going to ask you. Tell me what's going on about this place.
It's actually, from what I understand, a very good museum if you're into paintings of like late 19th century. So like I know they have a good collection of like John Singer Sargent paintings and people in that era. So I don't know. Maybe it isn't the right place to bring a kid, but it's kind of hilarious that this person's just like, this is torture to bring this to a kid.
Well, they didn't bring a kid. Like, other people brought kids, and they're mad that other people brought kids.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if the kids were, like, acting out, but it's just like, what do you care? It's not your problem. Like, you know?
Yeah, is he complaining that kids were there, or that...
Like he thinks
it almost
that the
seems
kids...
like he was, like, trying to stand up for the kids.
Right. Like, he's complaining that other people's kids were bored, but he doesn't mention any, like, specific... issue. That's kind of weird. It's just like his complaints about the museum, like for himself, he's projecting onto other people's children that were there, I guess. That's kind of strange. So what was the whole deal about the lady going around the world stealing paintings or whatever? What was that? Is that like...
I don't know. I don't know if she...
The person the museum's named after?
Yeah. Isabella Stewart Gardner. I know she was like the wife of I don't know if she had money herself or she was just the wife of somebody who had a lot of money. But yeah, she created the museum basically as a permanent place to house her collection, I believe. Yeah, I wish I knew more about the history, but
no, it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Do you think that should count as like not liking the subject of the museum? I mean, is that even really a subject though?
Right. No. I mean, the museum isn't really about her. So
right. Okay.
Probably not.
Okay, so this one?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. One of the worst collections of art, in quotes, I have ever seen. Could have done better myself.
Oh my God. Review of the, what's it?
Musée de l'Orangerie.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, yeah. Do you know anything about this museum?
That's a French-ass name!
Yeah, that definitely is. Okay. Felt like a total Philistine here. Oh, I love that word. Not sure why the French rave about Monet's lilies or most of the other paintings, and really didn't get why people were queuing to get in. Would rather stick pins in my eyes than visit again. Damn. Okay, I think that counts as not liking the subject of a museum.
Shots fired!
So they could do it better themselves, and they want to stab themselves in the eyes. They really hated this. Damn.
Well, it wasn't like the Monet Museum, I don't think. So,
okay.
Well, he does say, or most of the other paintings. Well, kind of. If people were queuing to get in, does that mean that they were there for a special Monet exhibit? I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, well, we don't have to drink.
All right.
Okay.
This one is the Boston Children's Museum.
I know.
If you don't have kids and don't particularly enjoy being jostled by hundreds of babies, toddlers, and kindergartners, I implore you, stay far away. Upon entering, you'll notice stroller parking lot with the most enormous baby buggies imaginable. The place is teeming with cranky parents and whiny children. And there seems to be no limit to the amount of people the museum will admit. I do think they need to call the fire marshal because it is out of control in there. Okay, I guess the exhibits are good, but I could not wait to get the hell out of that nightmare. Never again.
Okay, this definitely counts as not liking the subject of the museum.
For sure.
It's like, if you don't have kids, don't go to the Children's Museum. Wow, I wouldn't have imagined that might not be fun for you.
Yeah, I didn't need this Yelp review to figure that one out.
Like, I wouldn't have just tried to go there. Like,
yeah, and then they're complaining that there were so many
like
children there.
Kids in the Kids Museum. It's like, what did you think was going to happen there? Were you expecting a somber, contemplative experience?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I could just imagine her just like walk into a museum. It's like when she sees all the kids.
Yeah, right?
They just storm her like a movie like where they open the mall doors and piles of children just storm in, like grab all the toys off the shelf.
Yeah, totally. It's just like she was expecting this to be a serious museum experience, but then there were children there. I thought this was a museum with the dolls of children. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
Like a museum about children, not a museum for children. I thought this was going to be about the history of children.
Right, yeah, exactly.
What the hell?
Or even like a museum of kids' art or something.
Yeah.
Missing the point.
Okay, is this my turn?
Yes.
Okay. Museums.
Yeah.
Van Gogh Museum. 1-star review. Unless you were a fan of Van Gogh, give this a miss.
That's already like...
that's already not liking the subject of the museum.
Mm-hmm.
It's like leaving a bad review for a taco truck because you don't like tacos.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
you know, why are you even trying? You know? Anyway.
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
Had to queue for over half an hour to get in. It was expensive, and Van Gogh is okay if you like art that could have been done by a child.
God damn.
Wow, this kid one has been surprisingly the most used one of all of these.
I know. Yeah, I totally thought we were just going to use it at the Children's Museum one, but... All right. Next one is Review of National Air and Space Museum. Needs real monkeys and less airplanes. That's already missing the point of the...
Yeah. I had a really good experience at the National Air and Space Museum, actually.
Is the National Air and Space Museum the one in Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, then I believe I've gone as well.
I had a horrible trip to Washington, D.C. It was insane. Like crazy horrible shit was happening. I'm not going to get into the details, but it involved me accidentally staying in a prostitute hotel and having people try and come into my room at 3 a.m. But anyway, I walked downtown to the monuments and visited the National Air and Space Museum, and it was so much fun that it kind of saved it a little bit. So I take exception to this person having a problem with it. Anyway, continue.
I went to this expecting monkeys, and I came short-handed. There was only one. There were only like one fake monkey. Unbelievable. Oh my God, that's such.
That's definitely like unrealistic expectations there.
Was he? Yeah.
Ding.
I need to.
Oh yeah. We're getting so tipsy by now. It's just like kind of a mess. I'm sorry, everybody.
Wait, was that a
yes?
Drink? Take a drink.
Yes, the unrealistic expectations.
Oh.
But why would they think that there's a monkey there? Like just because they sent a monkey to space? That was our theory earlier, but why would you expect there to be a real monkey?
Yeah, I like that they had to say that it was a fake monkey. Like they were expecting it to be like the actual monkey that they sent into space. Now.
It says needs real monkeys and less airplanes. Why do you think that there's real monkeys? I was like, are they just trolling? I feel like they might just be trolling, but I don't want to believe that because it's less funny, but still, yeah.
Right.
Unbelievable.
I'm sad that this place wasn't a one-animal zoo.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Review of the National Gallery.
This is hilarious. I really like the first word. Okay, review of the National Gallery. Piff! Exclamation point. Just piff.
Right.
And then in parentheses, full of pictures of dead people. So they make it sound like Piff is some expression of like disgust over that, I guess.
I piff at you.
Piff. So that's the title. What better way to celebrate my fortuitous trip to Kempton Park this week than to pop into the National Gallery and enjoy the fine vistas? But oh, how my heart sank upon entry. Barely an equine portrait in sight. Not even red rum and al dente escaped me completely. If I hadn't stumbled across a rather fine facsimile of an old Uncle George, I think maybe she means George Washington, I'd have said the whole afternoon was a complete washout.
God, this person's fancy.
I know. You should play the sad music next time one of us reads one of these.
Yeah,
because this is really like... I don't know, it's almost like sort of eloquently written, but it's just like, I think this can count as unrealistic expectations, by the way.
Oh, I believe so. Yeah.
It's like, why? Why do you think there will be a bunch of equine portraits?
Right, yeah. Seriously. It's not the National Gallery of Horses.
I don't know much about the National Gallery. Is that in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, it has a lot of famous art portraits, I would say. Yeah, they do have a lot of portraits of presidents there. I don't think it's where they actually show all the
like
presidential
the official
portraits,
presidential portraits.
I don't think it is. Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. It's a pretty long hallway that has just, huge portraits across both
Have you
walls.
been there?
Mm-hmm. Just really quickly, we went through it.
When you were a wee child?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the Obama presidential portrait? Pretty cool. He's got like a jungle around him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, of course.
I don't know if I thought it was official, but I'm not totally sure about that.
I think it actually is.
And it was, I was like, that's a cool choice. I like that artistic choice.
Okay.
Piff.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper Museum. I feel like if I'm going to pay $6 to subject myself to extended Dr. Pepper commercial, I should at least get a free Dr. Pepper, damn it. Just one can, that's all I'm asking. Wait, does all this count as like unrealistic expectations, or would you say that this is pretty realistic of him to think so?
That's debatable. Let's get through the whole review and then make a judgment.
Hell, when you get a free tour of the big breweries, Miller, Budweiser, etc., you get several free beers, not to mention that those tours are also really interesting, which the Dr. Pepper Museum is not. I realize that the Dr. Pepper Museum isn't the same as a factory tour, and I wasn't really expecting it to be, but for $6, I expect more than a couple of rooms full of old ads and bottles, To be precise, I expect a couple of rooms full of old dads and bottles and a free Dr. Pepper.
I'm pretty torn on this one because it's like, it's like they make a fair point that when you go to brewery tours and stuff, you do get free stuff, but that's not a museum. You know, a museum doesn't like need to serve you drinks while you're in a museum. Like, that's not what it is. You know, it's not. Yeah. I could totally see them like having like a branded Dr. Pepper like vending area or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm right down the middle on this one. Like, I get what, like, I would have wanted that. I would have been disappointed if I didn't get that. Would I be mad? No. Because it's only $6. It's not like you're doing this like $50 VIP Dr. Pepper experience.
Right,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just had it available for purchase. I mean, if they didn't have any drinks at all, then I might be annoyed.
Right.
In the Dr. Pepper Museum. But no, I wouldn't expect it for free. Yeah, I don't think we need to drink to that. Because I don't think it's completely unrealistic, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they had a gift shop in there, so you could have had to pay for Dr. Pepper. I'll give them that too. But yeah, I mean, I would probably think that they would give you a free Dr. Pepper for going through it, but that's not enough to make me give it a 1-star review.
I don't know. When I hear $6 admission, I think it's just like a throwaway type of thing. Maybe that's my Bay Area sensibilities of things just being generally expensive. But if I was just like, oh, $6 to go through this old museum, like, I would just be like, oh, this is just a quick, cheap thing to do, whatever. Not really, like, put too much stock in it. But anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah. My turn? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is for the Mutter Museum. Are you familiar with the Mutter Museum? I
actually am, yeah.
What is it?
It's this, I think it was a doctor. He basically collected all these weird things that, they kind of talk a little bit about in the review. It's pretty popular along like medical students and artists and stuff because it's a lot of like medical oddities basically.
Okay. All right. Continuing. 1-star review. Disappointing. I was very excited to visit this museum of medical oddities. I actually looked forward to it for years, and I thought I was going to see cool things, like a fork stuck in an esophagus and things like that. Okay, that's going to be unrealistic expectations right there. It's like, why do you need to see that specific
Yeah, why
thing?
Do you have to be so
A fork stuck in an esophagus? Like, are you talking about like someone stabbed someone in the neck? I mean...
Right, yeah.
Like, why a fork? Why not a knife? Why? Or did they swallow the fork? Like, what? Why were you expecting to see this specific thing?
That's funny, yeah. I didn't even think of them actually, like, swallowing the fork. I don't know. Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe her great-grandpappy was killed that way. She was hoping to see.
By being stabbed in the neck with a fork. Yeah. I don't know why you would expect that. Anyway. However, this museum is basically 2 floors of skulls, more skulls, and fetuses in jars. Well, I think Tony might like this place. It's got a lot of skulls. Tony Giraldi Brown likes to paint skulls.
If you don't remember who that is, that's...
Tony Gabaldi Brown.
Gabaldi.
I won't do the whole thing.
Okay, I got it. I love that so much. Okay. There was also a ton of stuff constructed from wax. To appreciate the things this place offers, you need to have an interest in the medical field. Beyond that, it was crowded, hot, and smelly, and it was very small, especially for the $15 entrance fee.
That is a drink.
Yep.
They mentioned the price.
We're almost out of our drink.
Wow.
Should I grab the White Claw? Oh, that's embarrassing.
If you want to be basic.
I know, such a basic bitch. Okay, anyway. Only 2 floors, hardly a museum. I don't know. It sounds like they might have some interesting stuff in there.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially if you're into that sort of thing. But I don't know. Like, a museum doesn't have to have a specific amount of space to be a museum, really. Just see the example of the Museum of Bad Art.
I mean, 2 floors, that could, I don't know, that could be pretty a variable amount of space.
Right,
like,
yeah.
so, something could be 2 floors that's like
2
pretty huge.
floors, yeah.
You know, so I don't know. But also, like, I really wish they had other examples of what they expected other than a fork and an esophagus, because it's like
Yeah.
that's such a specific thing. Like what else did you want exactly? Like were they wanting like crazy injuries or crazy like mangled things? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what they want, but
Yeah, no idea.
yeah. I'm really curious about this place now. But stuffed constrictor from wax, the thing is, like, you can't necessarily expect, like, human tissue to last forever. So I can see why they'd need to, like, represent things somehow.
Right.
Lame. Okay.
All right. 1 star for, I actually don't know what museum this is, but oh well.
Your screenshot blocked it.
Yeah. First of all, most people don't even know that you can get in paying a penny. And second off all, no splash guards in the bathroom?
Bathroom.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather pay full $25 and get splash guards.
Damn it.
Is that another hitting the thing?
Yeah, they mentioned
The price?
the price. That's funny.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Because they didn't know you could get in by paying a penny. Well, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But anyways, like really, in a museum so big and so fancy, you couldn't opt out for splash guards? I don't really want to be pissing that close in a museum next to someone. Get the splash guards. Maybe go up to a 2-star review. It's 2015. Get splash guard. Okay, so that's like, you got to count that as a drinking because totally like missing the point of the
Right,
museum,
whatever
right?
museum that was. I think I saw that one too. I wish I remembered. But it doesn't really matter. Okay, so excuse my ignorance, but can you explain what splash guards are to me?
Oh, yeah, like in between urinals.
Are they actually for splashing or are they for
No,
privacy?
they're not. They're not actually for splashing, but yeah.
So why are they splash guards? Why are they called that?
Or does this guy spin in a 360 rotation while he's peeing?
Yeah.
Or does he just have like a horse penis and just like just
Ew.
sprays out so with a ridiculous force that it goes all over the place?
He does at least seem to indicate that he wants it for privacy. So they're actually like a privacy thing. They're not like because guys are like splashing all over the place. Okay.
I don't think anybody actually calls them splash guards either. I think this is what just some guy said that they were. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's hilarious. Splash guard.
I don't like the idea of splashing. I don't know. Like, I don't want to think about that when I'm thinking about a bathroom, that there's like, you have to be protected from the splashing of pee. Like,
Seriously.
yeah, well, I'm glad I don't have to subject myself to that.
Right, yeah. Unless the urinals were like right next to each other.
Maybe they were uncomfortably close. I mean, that probably would be pretty, like, spoil a bit of a museum if they were like really close. I don't know, though.
I guess so, but
I've
yeah.
never used a urinal before, so I wouldn't know.
I would say they're pretty well spaced out most of the time.
No splash guards required, or are there usually splash guards?
If you want to keep calling them splash
I mean,
guards.
what do you call them? Dividers? I think
Yeah,
they
they're
should be
just
like a divider.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. All right. One more.
Oh, this one's my favorite.
Okay.
This is for the Philadelphia Museum of Art.
Okay. 3-star reviews. That's not that bad. Go Rocky. Woohoo. I hate the art museum. I hate art. I hate tour guides. And I hate them for taking down the Rocky statue. That was the best piece of art there. I would recommend this place if you like sober tour guides and boring naked art sculptures. Boring naked art sculptures. Trust me, that's all there is. All right.
Is that a drinking?
I mean, I would think
drink?
so, yeah. I mean, they hate art museums. We don't
Right.
really have any drink left unless I go get the White Claw, but I'm too lazy.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, I hate art, so I'm going to hate this museum. So, yeah, that is like missing the point of.
I'm shocked they still gave this 3 stars when they just, like, hate it. Like,
Right, yeah.
okay. But, like, yeah, so why are you still giving it 3 stars exactly? And they took down the statue that they liked?
The Rocky statue.
Yeah, so you just totally just, like, hate everything about them now? Why are you giving them 3 stars?
I think they just love Rocky above all else.
Yeah, well, I guess we ran out
Rocky
of...
is the only art.
Right. That's so silly.
That
Like, that was the only reason they went to that museum. I bet they ran up and down the stairs. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you maybe that's why they're 3 stars, because all you have to do is go to the steps to know that they took the Rocky statue out of that, right?
Right. Is that
where
even
it is?
really a part of the museum? Yeah, I thought it was at the top of the steps.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you can consider it that.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. All right. Well, hope you guys got good and drunk off of that.
Yep, we sure did.
Yeah, we did. Well, that is a mini-sode. Hope you guys enjoyed this little break-in format.
All right. That's what Sergio always says at the end of a podcast.
At the beginning.
All right.
At the beginning of podcasts as well.
No, you can't unhear that.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right. See you guys.